Hey everyone, I hope your day is going so well, and I hope that you're working on making sure that you're eating as healthy as possible and really maximizing whatever you choose to eat. Food is our medicine, and whatever we eat will have an effect on our bodies, on our minds, how we function through the day. If you haven't checked it out already, I was in the garden this morning and I was talking about moringa and stevia as two of the very important plants that you can grow in your garden to help promote your health, sustainability, money savings, and a multitude of health benefits, especially the moringa plant. So if you haven't checked that one out yet, please do. In today's video, I want to inspire you to prepare yourselves healthy foods. Today, for lunch, I'm making a beautiful vegetable salad topped with sweet and juicy strawberries and apples, maybe even a few blueberries. Honestly, whatever that you have available and whatever you feel will fit your taste, palate, and promote health and wellness, it's up to you. It's up to you in terms of your choosing. The sky's the limit. Start growing your own vegetables and fruits so that you can have your own source of these wonderful phytonutrients to help enrich your life. Come on with me as I take you through what I'm preparing today for lunch. I'll see you over in the kitchen. So here we go. I'm over at the stove and I have here some fresh cabbage, some beautiful broccoli, a tomato, and a little mushroom that's hiding out on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna barely warm the broccoli and the cabbage. You really want to maintain the phytonutrients in your food as best as possible. So I'm just going to cut this up, and notice I don't really have anything in my pot because I don't want to add oil to this beautiful food. I can literally cook it here. I can add a little water to it just to help it along the way with the steaming. That's some beautiful broccoli, so rich and green. So you can add water to it just to help the process along with the steaming. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of liquid aminos to add a little extra flavoring. But we avoid using things with high sodium and processing, so you can do it without. But we are just gonna add a small amount today. So I'm just finishing up, cutting up this broccoli just a little. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add the cabbage. And we are just doing a very light warming, just a very light steaming. We don't want it to be mushy or soft. It's so quick and easy. And at the end, we're gonna make ourselves some homemade dressing. We're not gonna add the tomato to our pot here because we want that tomato to be nice and firm, and we don't want to break it down any more than where it is. Nice and crunchy. Mushrooms are a very healthy food with multiple health benefits. We're just adding a little bit for flavoring and just a little bit more bulk. Not very much. Once you start eating whole food plant-based, you are going to see that you have multiple options, and you'll start to design your own favorite dressings, soups, salads, vegetable bowls. And you'll see that your body really starts to want these foods. You'll find that you desire them if you haven't had them for some time. Your body really knows what it needs, and it tells you, it lets you know. These foods are also rich in fiber and hydrating properties. Now that the weather is getting warmer, we have other little multiple options for our fruit choices, which really make the eating so much more delicious. And depending where you live, of course, you may have different types of fruits all around, all throughout the year. So I've added just that little splash of coconut aminos, just to add a little bit of flavoring. We don't want to add a lot of salt to your food. You don't need that, especially if you're concerned about high blood pressure or water retention. You don't need that. And really, the food has its own beautiful flavor already. Cabbage and broccoli, by the way, are cruciferous vegetables that are so healthy for you, especially for your gut, in prevention of inflammation, and even for anti-cancer properties. So whether we are looking to prevent disease or whether we are going through an illness, you want to include foods such as this according to what you can personally take in. Of course, if you have any questions about your nutrition and how it plays a role in your particular situation, consult a medical professional that you trust. See about what things are out there. And honestly, do a lot of the researching for yourself. And then ask and confirm and just get some feedback if you have questions. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on those beautiful strawberries and apples. If you can add a large bowl of salad to your meals each day, you will greatly benefit. This is why it's so important to start growing your own garden. Have these vegetables and fruits ready and available for you throughout the year, so that you can easily include things such as this in your diet. By the way, don't be afraid to include fruits in your diet. Some people feel that they have been told they should avoid sugar, and they feel that sugars that are found in fruits are also of detriment to them. But we have to remember the sugar in fruits are wrapped in its fibrous house. It has a coat over it. And when we eat this, that coat is going along with the sugar molecules, and they are fruit sugars that do not easily spike one's glucose levels in the body. It actually takes its time in the gut being processed because it has its fiber coat, which then feeds your gut microbiome, which then promotes health and wellness, the production of important hormones, the production of healthy bacteria that help to ward off illness and keep us healthy and strong. So don't be afraid to have your fruits. Of course, if someone is diabetic, see what your healthcare provider thinks about your nutrition and what you're eating and how you can coordinate your habits with any medication you're taking. But ultimately, with a whole food plant-based diet, you should eventually, with specifically type 2 diabetes, be able to come off of your medicines because you would have regulated through food your body's ability to control your sugars. Type 2 diabetes is a reflection of one's diet, and in particular the intake of highly fatty foods, which then play a role in blocking the activity of insulin at the cellular level. So once you are able to cure the issues with the excess fat, and of course, if one is eating excess sugar, that is also putting a toll on the pancreas and insulin's ability to function. But once you have put a cap on the issues with the lipids, the fats, and how they interact at high levels with insulin, you can literally reverse diabetes. It has been seen many times over. People have done this. Now, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disorder where the pancreas is self-destructing. So this is a very different problem and must be handled in a different way. One is really dependent upon having to receive exogenous insulin levels given to them throughout the day in order to manage this. They have to be given insulin levels through injection in order to manage. This is very different from the type 2 diabetic profile that we're seeing in our nation today, caused by, honestly, a malnutrition problem. Overweight but being malnourished, not having the proper nutrition in our bodies to help to regulate our systems, which cause not only type 2 diabetes but so many more issues. It looks like our greens are just about ready. They are only just lightly steamed and still very fresh and crunchy. It is smelling good here and it is looking good. So I'm gonna turn that off, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add the tomatoes. Tomatoes have an important chemical called lycopene that help to keep our skin healthy and so many more things. Tomatoes freshly picked from the vine are just really unbeatable. If you have never had a fresh tomato from the vine, please make sure you get yourself either some plant starts or some tomato seeds along with other seeds that you can go ahead and start growing and see just how wonderful it is to have a freshly picked vegetable or fruit. It's really unbeatable. So we are ready to go ahead and assemble our salad. Also going to be adding our dressing, which we're going to be making from some fresh avocados, parsley, and a little bit of nutritional yeast. Avocados are also one of those foods that are very healthy in terms of its fat content. What you don't want to have, especially if you're having trouble with cholesterol, you don't want to have more than one medium-sized avocado per day. So you want to keep a track of how many you're eating. But these are also rich in phytonutrients and have been actually shown to increase the good levels of cholesterol. I'm going to go ahead and just add the avocado to my bowl with the strawberries and the tomatoes. When you're using your avocado, make sure that you get to that very darker green skin close to the outer layer. It has been said that there's a high amount of nutrition found within that layer that's closest to the skin. So make sure you go ahead and scrape that out. I'll show you an example here where you can see that inner green layer. Don't miss out on that. You've got high nutrition there. I also have some fresh radishes from the garden that I'm gonna go ahead and cut up in our salad. Radishes are some of the first plants that pop up in your garden. So some of our avocados were a little bit soft, but that is perfect for our dressing. I'm gonna go ahead and make my dressing in my Nutter machine. If you haven't checked out my video yet, where I showed you how to make your own plant milk, go ahead and check it out. I will go ahead and link it above. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the softer portions of avocado in here along with some water. You can also add a little bit of lemon juice if you like. We're going to add some nutritional yeast, which also has a portion of your B12 for the day. And then we're going to add a little lemon juice. And then we'll go ahead and start. beautiful greens. Healthy and delicious. We're gonna go ahead and add the rest of the apples, strawberries, tomatoes, and our avocado. Just beautiful and oh so good for you. Radishes coming along too. Let's look at our dressing. It's looking good. Now you can add just a little layer of your dressing. This salad is ready. It is delicious and so healthy for you. Salads are very filling and you can honestly go back for more if you'd like. Let me take a bite. You can also add some sunflower seeds on top, or as I mentioned earlier, any other fruits, even some blueberries would also be very delicious on top. Here we go. Enjoy.